We're dealing today with the foundations of muto dori. Muto dori is empty hands against weapons. It's the essence of ninjutsu. Why? Because distance keeping is the main point here. And with us, distance keeping is not a philosophy, something that should be integrated through our body movements. So let us begin with the ABC of distance building, okay? First thing is the tsuki step, okay? It's one part of the 12 directions, general directions of sabaki. Is the forward. I just take one step, either to evade something behind me or to attack to the front. So now I just want to check, is this forward step with power, okay? So I push, that's it. I do something. So it's not only show of a nice posture, but checking for the utility of the posture. And I have two things to pay attention to. First thing is, do not lift the back leg, okay? It should not be lifted. It turns around. The other thing is, if I push forward, then my toes point forward, and the knee, the direction of the knee is also forward, but it does not overlap the toes. So this is not so good for the toes, not so good for the knee, okay? This is as far as the knee should get in a forward step, in a tsuki step. And now that I'm equipped to know everything, I just push, and I do not use the hand. I just put the elbow on the torso of my opponent and push. If I do it correctly, the front knee moves a little bit, okay? Starting from shizentai, push, let's work. Now I use the same principle, okay, to deliver a strike. And I can deliver every strike, whether it's a fudoken or a shikanken, okay, or in this case, omoteshito. The reason we're doing omoteshito is that later on, we'll be working with sticks. So it's the same principle, stick and empty hand, and the same trajectory of the hand, okay? The hand moves the same. So, instead of shizentai, I go one step, pointing toward the opponent. Measure the distance with this hand. This hand is in doko. I can start here and move to doko through the cycle. And I... Let me adjust the microphone. Okay. אני עוצר כל פעם. This goes either here to the clavicle, to break the clavicle, to the neck, to break C2, or to the jaw for a knockout. Okay? And I do it both sides. 1, 2. Now look, I maintain the same posture. No flying with the back leg, no lifting of the heel, turn and push. So after I did the forward movement, I sometimes check. Do not check while you're doing it, because it's a habit that stays forever. Okay, attack forward, the whole orientation is forward. Okay, make this movement work in randori. We have 12 directions of Tai Sabaki. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And now diagonally back. Diagonally back is an extremely important direction. Why? First of all, because it distances me from my opponent's attack, and then it breaks the line of attack. Okay? So I can do it sliding like this. I stand, point toward, okay, the angle of this square, and go, and that's 45 degrees angle. Okay? But I can do it like this. So now we're going into the essence of the muto dori of this lesson. I go out and in, go out and in. So this is a drill, an extremely important drill. Naname ushiro, tsuki step. Naname ushiro, tsuki step. And I can add to this platform every attacking movement I'm thinking of. And right now we'll do it only with kicks, because the rest of the lesson will be with the upper limbs, okay? Hitting with stick. So 1, 2, let the leg fall forward. Naname ushiro, tsuki. While doing the naname ushiro, pay attention to 2 things. First of all, let the hand, okay, feel what is behind you, because you're jumping towards a place you do not see. So this. Second thing is, let the foot, the sole of the foot, do the same. So I feel, and only then I jump. And when I jump, I land like a frog, okay, from above. If it's a relatively smooth area, then it's a relatively small jump. But if it's a rocky area, then it might look like this. Okay, that depends. Again, the drill. Push, again. Most of the techniques I'll show you now are, I learned with Master Russo, Master Mota, and Master Saramago from Portugal, okay? All masters of Jogo de Pau. All the mistakes are mine, not theirs, okay? Because I did not learn a lot of time, but I'll return and hone it. First thing to know about a stick is that in street situation, most of the punches will be ballistic. What does it mean, ballistic? It starts with a 0 speed and gets to as fast as we can. Okay, it's just like a baseball. And you will not usually see in street situation the ninjutsu main punches. Okay, that does not mean that it's not so good. They are very good, but in a specific low violence situation. First strike with a stick is just like umote shito. Okay? I start here, I can start from many stances, but I start holding the stick like this, okay? And since I do a tsuki step, I take a lot of distance from my opponent because I've got the distance of the tsuki step and the stick. Now I take this and do an omote shito. Okay, so it's like an omote shito from here. So this is the first thing we'll learn to do, okay? Omote shito with a stick. Now mind you, these are sticks. Even if they touch the skull, okay, it might cause a cut. Please be careful. All the veterans know this weapon, but the beginners, just take it easy. Again. So this is the side that attacks. Okay, we'll do it 2 or 3 minutes, and then we learn the defense against it. And then we learn the muto dori, empty hands against a stick. Let me say in advance, it is always not so good to work against weapons with empty hands. Let's not delude ourselves, okay? It is not so good. So if a person stands with a weapon in front of me, I will always try to get a weapon. Only if I cannot get a weapon, a better weapon maybe, only then I will use muto dori, okay? Do not delude yourself that you can do something against a person with a weapon, okay? Even if it's just a stick. Okay, so again, right hand and hitting from the right side. And then the opponent does it. Okay, returns. Okay, and then, so this is the ballistic part. I just hit but please do not do it before we learn the defense. Let's learn the defense. For the defense, it's an uninstinctive block. It's not instinctive. Okay, pay attention. When he attacks in umoteshto, I forgot the Portuguese name for it. Okay, when he attacks like this, he attacks, okay, my weak side, the side that does not have a weapon. Okay, here. So I have to defend it. I take the stick and pass it over to the other side of the body and create not a wall, but a roof. Okay, and this roof is not instinctive. Very important. An instinctive roof is like this. So it works, but my hand is too close to the action. So if he hits hard, okay, I can break my fingers. What I do is I slant like this, like a roof. Okay, כמו גג. I slant the stick towards my opponent. So I create this angle. Okay? So now everything here is protected from a diagonal. Okay? And if he attacks to the waist or lower, I can use the same, okay, to block. So, but let's concentrate on this one block. He hits, and I block. And from here it is very natural to get an attack. So this prepares me for the muto dori because it's the same thing. I get out and get in. And if you remember, we prepared this by working over the second timing. We have 7 timings we are working on in AKBAN, okay? And the second one is going back and then, okay? Waiting for the attack and then answering. So this is the second timing. This is what we're doing now. So opponent punches, I do the roof. Okay, this is a good roof. This is a bad roof. Why? Because my head, okay, peaks. And if my head peaks, I will break it. I go back to be out of the action. And that means that if I did it correctly, it's a muto dori. I'm out of the action without the block. And let's do 1, left leg forward. Just don't change the legs. Yeah. And I hit. attack, הטעיתי אותך. שים את רגל ימין לפנים. קורה שאני אעשה נילי. והכל בווידאו, אבל הערלים לא מבינים מילה. Okay, now another thing to pay attention to. While all the time in Ninjutsu we're looking at the opponent's body, here, look at the stick. Look at the stick, that's what Master Russo told me. Look at the stick. Okay, תסתכלו על המקל. You will immediately feel that it is not so good. Why? Because it is too long. To make this long jump and then get in, see. Several things that can make it faster. If I go back and I want to quickly return, I have to make this, okay, more agile. So this, if it's stuck, it will take me more time. But here, make this more agile. It's hard to describe the feel. Okay. Look how he is waiting for me. Okay, that means that it's unrealistic. This is better, why? Because it is outside. So if he attacks and I'm here, it's better. Till the time that he returns, I'll be within distance that will neutralize his weapon. This is why defending from a stick is very difficult, but easier than against a knife. Because a knife, every distance is effective. But here, stick is not so effective. Less effective than here. Again, Naname Ushiro, return. To make it really work, everything must be fast. But right now, let's do the big movement, just to let. Don't rush it. Make each movement distinct. Let's get in. Again. Muto dori first.